Hey guys, this is Seanz90. I talked to you guys yesterday about something that was going on in my personal life with, you know, people coming up and asking me certain things about certain surgeries. Am I going to have them? Am I not? Like, what's going to, happen and stuff. And, today I'm going to do something a little bit different. It's something that not a whole lot of people talk about. And, people in general, not just trans people, but people in general. And I think it's something that's very important that we need to talk about. Um, Here's the bottom line. There's things about people that other people don't know about that's going on in their personal lives. You know, things that they deal with, whether it be addiction or mental illness or, you know, stuff like that. And abuse, stuff that people don't talk about. And me personally, I've dealt with all three of those things, and I deal with everything on a daily basis. Um, and one of the main things that gets to me is the pain that I feel from that, you know. And what I mean by the pain that I feel from that is everything that I was hiding for a number of years and everything. It all built up to the point to where I couldn't take it anymore. Okay, I have addiction issues, and I was clean for about 2 years, 2.5 years. I was clean from everything, drugs, alcohol, you name it. I was clean from everything. Okay, but the thing that I always do is, in order to spare people the pain that I feel and to stop that from happening to them, I save them. That's what I've always done. I save them, I try to fix them. And I've mentioned in my previous videos that I tend to take over people's lives in like every aspect, trying to help them. And something that people have been telling me for an enormous amount of years is, you need to stop saving people. You need to stop being Superman and trying to save the world. Well, things that have happened in the past couple of years, they all came to a head over the past few months. And like I mentioned yesterday, I ended up leaving the program that I was going to for a numerous amount of years because I couldn't deal with how I've hurt people. Trying to protect them, trying to save them. I put them through an enormous amount of pain trying to spare them. And I couldn't handle it. So I decided to go to a different area and try to make my life better. This past Friday, and this is what I meant by there's a lot going on in my personal life that I didn't want to talk about, but it's something that's important. This past Friday, I relapsed after 2 years of being clean. And the reason I did that, the rationalizations that I came up with, was the pain that I was feeling. And a lot of people don't let other people feel their own pain. They don't let them express their feelings, or they don't think that their feelings are important. And that's what I was running into, right? Because I do not have a bad life by any means. Did I go through a lot in the past? Yeah, I have. And, not only with being trans and transitioning and stuff, I also deal with other stuff. Mental illness, depression, anxiety, schizoaffective disorder. I deal with all of that. And I have for a very long amount of time. But at the same time, I was ignoring it by trying to help other people, by trying to fix other people, by trying to spare them that pain that I felt and that I still feel. And when I couldn't handle the fact that I didn't know how to push through it anymore, and act like everything was okay when it wasn't, and when it's not, I caved like I always do. So, yeah, I relapsed after 2 years of being clean. And, those of you who watch my videos, a few of you are really close friends of mine and have been for a very long time. But at the same time, I felt when I did that like I was letting everybody down. That's how I always feel, is like I let people down, like with family members and stuff like that. I feel like I let them down in 100 ways possible, and it I don't know, it just happens. And I'm the type of person who, you can hurt me all you want. You can say anything you want to me to hurt me, whatever, but I cannot hurt you. I will feel very guilty if I even say something that hurts your feelings, and a couple of my friends were like, you gotta stop being Superman. You gotta stop saving people. Because what it comes down to is that when I try to save people, okay, when I fail, or when I can't, or when I can't help them, I feel like I failed. And then I take that guilt and put it on myself too, like, oh my god, you should have been able to help this person. When in reality, you cannot help everybody. You cannot save everybody. My biggest thing was, like I said, I wanted to spare people that type of pain that I felt and that I feel. So I would act like everything was absolutely perfect in my life, and help everybody else with their issues and everything. And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? But at the same time, when it takes over your life, you do what I did, and you cave yourself, over, all of the whatevers that you're holding on to, whether it be guilt, not being able to forgive people, not being able to forgive yourself. You cave after a while, and I did, and I think it's important for people to talk to people that they can trust and feel like they can trust, about what's going on with them. Because the people that I tend to trust are the wrong ones, okay? And the people that I don't trust and I don't want to talk to are the ones that can be trusted. And, I learned that over a numerous amount of years, over a numerous amount of friendships being broken up, a numerous amount of people leaving me, right? And just walking away. And, there's a couple of people that I really, really trust. And my relapse, honestly, had nothing to do with anybody else. More to do with what I've held on to for so long and didn't get out. I didn't know how. I didn't know how to talk about it. I didn't know how to, say what I was feeling and everything. Because you ever feel like when you talk to somebody about what's going on, or you want to talk to somebody about what's going on, they got their own lives, right? So you're automatically like, I don't want to be a burden, and they're having a good day, I don't want to bring them down. Well, that's exactly how I am. And I learned the hard way that there's people that you won't be a burden to, and then there's people that you will make you feel like one, you know. And I also have this thing where I don't know, like I don't know what I'm feeling most of the time, right? I have all these emotions and things flooding my mind and my heart and everything, and I don't know what I feel half the time, so how am I supposed to sit here and explain to you what's going on with me when I don't know? You know, so that's what I was dealing with for a long time too, and a lot of people go through that. And it's not talked about as often as it should be. You know, whether it be addiction stigmas or mental illness stigmas or, you know, stigmas in general, or, you know, whether it be that's the way we were raised, we don't talk about it, you know, and I feel like it does an enormous amount of damage to people when they cannot find somebody that's a safe space for them to go to talk about stuff. And this is like my outlet, right? This is where I always used to come to YouTube or Facebook, or that's pretty much the only two, and tell how I was feeling and what was going on and stuff. And then I got a bunch of stuff like, oh, you post too much, or, you know, stuff like that. So I stopped. You know, I stopped doing that. And to be honest with you, I like these outlets because you can voice your opinions, you can voice your mind, get out of your own head for a moment, you know, bounce ideas off of people. That's what these platforms are for in general, is, you know, to, I don't want to say like inspire hope or inspire people or anything like that, or, you know, but that's really what it is that's what it is for me, is I need to constantly hold on to the hope that it's going to get better. Otherwise, if I feel like it's not going to get better, you know, hope stays with you. Faith sometimes goes away, and so does love. That sometimes goes away. Or is sometimes not shown the way it's supposed to be shown, or whatever. But hope is something that remains always there, and that's what I cling on to. And I felt extremely hopeless a couple of days ago. That's why I decided to go and relapse after 2 years, because I didn't know what else to do. I tried talking about it with people, and when I did, it wasn't, the responses to it weren't the best, you know. And I'm talking about from like family members. My friends were pretty supportive throughout this whole thing, like I told you guys. But I think it's something that needs to be talked about more, is a pain that we hold, you know. And there's a difference between keeping your guard up and not letting everybody in, and keeping it all the way up and not letting anybody in. And that's what I did. I expected everybody to trust me, but I didn't trust anybody, you know. Especially when it came to stuff that I've been dealing with for a number of years. No, I'd rather hold that stuff in than talk to you guys about it. But it's something that affects me on a dramatic level every single day, and I think it's something that needs to be talked about more, is the pain and the suffering that people go through, you know, whether it be dealing with, you know, the stuff that I talked about today or anything, you know. So I guess I just had to come on here and vent for a minute, and let you guys know that you guys that are dealing with these things, there's help. You know, there's help out there. And there's hope that it will get better. Keep fighting. Bye.